In the past couple of years, we've seen that Chinese vehicles really can be excellent value for money, and Chery aims to be no different. Hello everyone and welcome to the Carcode YouTube channel. My name's Sam. If you're new here, make sure to hit subscribe down below for all the latest new car content. First of all, a huge thanks to Pye Motors Chery, Barrow and Furness, and to Mike as well for making this video possible. I'm checking out the Tiggo 7 today, or to be specific, the Tiggo 7 Super Hybrid. This may sound a little bit familiar, the super hybrid system, because it's also what's included in the JAECOO 7 plug-in hybrid and also the OMODA 9, which I both reviewed on the channel. So if you haven't watched those videos, you can check them out. OMODA is the more fashion, elegant, stylish vehicles, and JAECOO is that chunky SUV with a more premium edge. Chery is going to be the more affordable family option. Plug-in hybrid family SUV, which starts at just under £30,000. So you could say it's a bit of a bargain. So what's it compromising on? Well, today I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about this new vehicle, all its ups, its downs, and should you consider one. There's two different trims you can have your Tiggo 7 in, either the Aspire or the top of the range Summit, which is the one I'm testing today. The Summit adds some extra nice features like the full panoramic opening sunroof, electric tailgate, 8-speaker Sony sound system, heated and ventilated front seats, electric passenger seat adjustment as well as the driver's seat adjustment, wireless phone charging, 540 degrees surround view cameras, and that's about it. There's a lot of features there, isn't there, on the vehicle? The only option on the vehicle is the paint colour. So let's go on to paint colours now available on the Tiggo 7. As for colours on the Tiggo 7, there's 7 to choose from. As standard, it comes in the Arctic white. You can also opt for the white with a black roof for £500 option, which is quite nice for that contrasting look. Going to metallic colours, they start at £500, including this ocean blue metallic, which is my favourite colour. It is very like Peugeot Obsession Blue. It's a very tealy colour, and in person it's so much nicer than what it looks on photos, especially when the sun hits it. It's something a little bit different. If you like something more subtle though, there's plenty more colours to choose from, including the Lunar Silver, Slate Grey, Storm Grey, which is a slightly darker grey, Midnight Black, and last but not least, your premium paintwork option of £1,000 with the contrasting black roof is the Cherry Red. That was very clever of Chery to call it that. If you like red, you will like it, but my favourite is definitely got to be this ocean blue. To the front of the Tiggo 7, you've got quite a pronounced face. It kind of bulges out a bit. You've got these little teeth-like sections like you do on the OMODA 5, however it's a little bit more subtle on this. These nice LED headlights are standard on the vehicle. This is a very Audi vibe. If you look really far away from the vehicle, especially if you can see it in your rear mirror, you might actually mistake it as an Audi quite easily. It's got that vibe, especially with this big grille as well. Could be a bit more elegant, but I don't think it's an ugly looking car. It's just not the sharpest out there. But then it's the cheapest plug-in hybrid and it doesn't look cheap especially. What does look cheap is this plate holder, the black plate holders that just kind of are on a lot of Chinese vehicles. You could just stick the plate on with plate tape, so not a big deal. You've got front parking sensors, which is great to see. You've also got these fog lights and these weird little sticker inserts that say performance. I think they've got the side of the vehicle pretty bob on. Also, I really like the keyless entry on this vehicle. It just literally unlocks as you walk up to the car, and when you walk away it locks. All you have to do is walk up to the car and it unlocks for you, which is great. When you walk away, it also locks. It sounds a bit like when you accidentally step on your dog's foot though, but at least you know it's locked. Also, the sensor is not one of the little plastic buttons you have to press in, like on the lower spec Kia vehicles and also on most of the MG vehicles. This doesn't have that, so already it looks more premium on the outside. As you can see, you got the rear tinted windows adding to this style. I do also like this subtle graphic at the back as well. It does look quite nice. And then to the rear of the car, I think this stance is where the Chery looks best. I think you would agree. It looks great with the roof bars and it has that real square boxy SUV look. And then you've got this nice tail light bar to the rear of the vehicle. It reminds me a lot of BYD with the Dolphin. That sort of design there is very BYD, isn't it? But it's not a bad thing. It's just quite dynamic, a little bit different. Kind of wraps around, which looks really good. I'll show you the indicator. Proper rear wiper is good. I prefer on the JAECOO 7 where it's tucked away like a Land Rover. Of course, Chery make Land Rovers over in China for the Chinese market. Tiggo 7 just there, and then your plug-in hybrid badge here. You got these reflectors as well that you get on the OMODA and JAECOO vehicles. Again, Chunky plate holder, not a fan of that. But again, it's not a big deal. As I say, get some plate tape, stick it on, and it would look so much better at the back of the car, I promise you. You've got this flat plastic bumper at the back as well, and you've got no kind of fake exhaust. You just kind of got these gloss black sections down here. So it's not offensive. It looks quite nice to the rear of the vehicle. Alloys on the Tiggo 7 range from 18 to 19 inches. However, on this plug-in hybrid, super hybrid model, they're all 18 inches. They're all this two-tone diamond cut design, which do look really nice. They're a bit flatter, so that's going to help with the aerodynamics of the vehicle, and they've also got a nice chunky sidewall, so that should definitely help the ride comfort. On the internal combustion engine cars, this is what you get on the standard Aspire model, the same wheel, but if you go up to the Summit model internal combustion engine, you do get 19-inch alloy wheels, which do look nice, but will probably sacrifice your ride comfort a little bit. Of course, it's not going to be the most high-end tyre on the vehicle, as it is a cheaper car, so they've got to save money somewhere, so I do understand that. Driving the Tiggo 7 Super Hybrid. It's front wheel drive only, the Tiggo 7 at the moment, so it's not an all-wheel drive. You've got an 18.4 kilowatt hour battery pack, providing an official EV only range of up to 56 miles claims, which is pretty good actually. It's not as much as what you see the 70 plus on the Volkswagen Group vehicles, but they're much more expensive cars, so this is not too bad at all, especially compared to cars a few years ago where 30 miles was pretty decent. 56 is very good. The charger port is on the driver's side to the rear, as you can see, and it does have fast charging capability up to 40 kilowatts. That means 30 to 80% charge can be done in just 20 minutes, which isn't bad at all. There you go, so that's your fast charger. Or you can, of course, just charge it at home on a 7 kilowatt wall box. It takes 6.6 kilowatts, this car. That means to fully charge it, it'll take around 3.5 hours, which isn't too bad at all. You've got an 18.4 kilowatt hour LFP battery made by Chinese company CATL, or CATL. They're meant to be quite good for their batteries, so it's got good battery technology. That's really good. You've got a 60 litre petrol tank, and Chery claim on a full petrol tank and a full charge you'll get 745 miles of range, which works out to 56 miles per gallon. So that's really good. That's telling you that you'd only charge it once and a full tank would still get you 56. You don't have to have it plugged in all the time to get good efficiency. So the basis of the super hybrid system is a 1.5 litre turbocharged 4-cylinder petrol engine providing 141 brake horsepower. The rest of the power is provided from the electric motors. This car's got a combined 201 brake horsepower, 204 PS, getting you from 0 to 62 in just 8.5 seconds. Identical to the JAECOO 7 plug-in hybrid, which shares the same powertrain, the exact same performance figures. Interestingly, the OMODA 9, the more premium vehicle with over 400 brake horsepower, uses the same engine as a basis and just has more powerful electric motors. So let's have a quick look under the bonnet of the Tiggo 7 Super Hybrid. Just pulls straight up, and it's on hydraulics. Bit weird, it looks like it's an electric car, but no, your engine does live under here. Lift it up, there we go. You can see your 1.5 litre turbocharged 4-cylinder petrol engine. This itself provides 141 brake horsepower, which is not too bad at all, and then the rest is from the electric motor, creating a maximum combined together of 201 brake horsepower and 365 newton meters of torque, which is really quite impressive. Identical to the JAECOO 7 plug-in hybrid, which has got the same powertrain, the same output, everything pretty much the same. Does it drive differently? A little bit. They've still got that floaty feel, both of them quite similar in a way. The JAECOO is slightly more refined than this car, but it does start at that higher price point. So something to bear in mind. I like the look of the JAECOO more as well. Claim a combined 258 miles per gallon, which would be very good. And then they say on a singular charge and a full tank, this will do 56 miles per gallon. So that's if you just charge it fully and then have the full 60 litre tank full, they're saying 56, which isn't bad. On this, it's reading 110 miles per gallon, with it mostly being electric and a bit of petrol. So that's really good. And that 56-mile official EV range is great too, because it means a lot of the time you can just use the electric or use hybrid and get excellent miles per gallon above 100. I mean, that's great. Especially charging at home, I wouldn't bother on public charging. So that is the same base engine that is used on a lot of other vehicles. Pure petrol model is a 1.6 litre turbocharged and hence is a lot more thirsty anyway, on top of that not being electrified. So I definitely, if you are looking at these, go for a hybridized vehicle because they're just so much better and save you a lot more money. I think this would be a great car around town because you've got that really decent electric range. It'll be excellent. And also, a lot of the time people need a slightly larger car if they've got kids, but it doesn't necessarily mean they're going to be doing long journeys. So again, this is where a plug-in hybrid makes so much sense. You do sit quite high up in the Tiggo 7 as well, so you definitely have that commanding SUV driving experience, which you don't get in a lot of crossovers. Personally, I don't mind sitting a little bit lower. I actually kind of like it a little bit more. I prefer the kind of driving position you'd sit in a T-Roc or something like that. This is the lowest my seat will go, and I'm sitting quite high up, it feels like. But if you're a shorter driver, that would be excellent. The square bonnet also makes it super easy to judge the size. I don't think it recognises what a national speed limit sign is, because it just knocks it back to 30, what it thinks it is. Okay, so national speed limit sign, I'll turn this back on. It just thinks it's 30, but that's just one thing that it's not too sure about. Generally turn the speed thing off each time. If you do need to turn off the speed thing though, you just have to press that speed limit assist one, and then it will just put a blank little sign on there, so that's better. You do have to turn that off each time because of EU regulations, I get that. It would be nice to have like a singular button that turns everything off like you get in some other vehicles. Now it's so much nicer not binging at me. What I will say though is that the attention monitor on this is a lot better set up than other vehicles. It's not binging at me all the time saying I'm not looking when I am, because it's in a good place here. The MGs actually mount them on the pillar here, and I feel like they're not as accurate, and they always are just overcautious, saying you're not looking when you are. As you can see, this gives you kind of a map of what's around you, so the cars are showing you that the car's aware of what's going on. Again, I don't really see the point of this system. Like, I think it's just kind of a safety thing to say that, you know, the car is aware, but I'm also aware, I've got eyes. Yeah, it's more for your advanced adaptive cruise, etc., which is standard on the vehicle. Around town is where this car really shines. It's just like very quiet, very smooth. It's quite light on the regen. Even on the high regen, it's not so strong, but it's much better than on the electric OMODA 5, which actually has kind of stages, and it's kind of like all or nothing with that car, whereas this is just a more of a traditional driving experience with the vehicle, to be honest. It'd be nice to have some paddles for the regen. It doesn't have that, unfortunately. The rear mirror does have a little bit of a strange effect to it that other people have said as well. It just looks like your rear window is about 2 car lengths away. It's just a bit odd. It is something that you get used to a little bit more, but you do kind of find yourself using the side mirrors more than you would use the rear mirror. It has got that kind of torquey, ready to go feel about it. The chassis isn't tuned for sportiness though. It's got to get up and go, like I say, but the actual ride of the car, it's not going to fly around corners, but it's not designed to do that. It's a family SUV. Auto hold on is good. It remembers that it's on, and you've also got these shortcuts that you can save things on, so that's quite good. It's honestly pretty good on bumps. There's nothing like majorly harsh that's made it very unsettled or anything like that, so that's good. Smooth bumps, it deals with those quite well. Even the odd rough bump, it's not too bad with them. Steering wheel's really good too. It's nice and ergonomic. I much prefer it to the steering wheel on the new OMODA 9, which was comfortable to hold, but just such a weird, like kind of ugly looking steering wheel. This is a lot nicer. This is the same they used on the OMODA 5 and on the JAECOOs as well. Okay, so we went up a bit of a hill then, so the engine kicked in. But it's the same with the JAECOO. I was surprised in that car that you never really heard the engine, and this is quite similar, the refinement. I'd say that was a bit quieter on the higher speeds than this car, but it is priced more premiumly. It's only if you really like floored it down, like if you want the instant acceleration, like there you go, then the engine kicks in. You get a bit of a surge of power, so it's something just to be aware of. Quite like the indicator noise. But if you don't like the sound of the indicator, you can turn it right down with this volume here, or you can have it louder. So that's good. Yeah, a bit of wind noise, bit of tyre noise mostly, but again, like I say, most of the noise isn't from the engine. The steering, you feel a little bit of vibrations through the road, through the steering, which was the same with the OMODA 5 as well, but it's not overly bad, unless you're on a really rocky road. Right, national speed limit, let's go. Yeah, it kind of gives you a surge of power. There's a slight delay and then it gives you a surge when the engine kicks in. So it is something to bear in mind if you've got a queue of traffic in front of you. Normally I've got the sound system on, and then I was really enjoying the Sony sound system before actually. I set up all the bass and everything on the Sony system to how I liked it, and it's really good. Especially this price point. I said it before on the OMODA JAECOO as well. The Sony system is actually so good, much better than MG's systems, which are really quite disappointing actually. I'm just going to open the sunshades, get some sun in, which is nice. So the energy recovery level always sets to medium when you start the car. If you put it on high, regen is a bit stronger, but it's generally quite subtle. So if you're used to driving a normal petrol car, it's not going to feel too different. So for most people, it's a comfortable driving experience. The engine just kind of takes over and keeps the system running as well. So it acts very like Nissan's e-power system in that way, that it will just be at low revs, so that you can't really feel the engine is on, but it is on along with the electric motors. So it's kind of generating power for the electric motors, which is quite interesting, rather than in the forced mode, when you put it on forced, that's actually making the engine charge the battery rather than just power the motors. And that's what uses more fuel. It's not slowing down like really strongly. It does see the cars in front as well, so it will like slow down. It's got front assist, all the safety assistance systems. Even though you're paying less for the car, you're not scrimping on safety. Lane assist a bit strong there at points. These assistance systems, to be fair, are not far off European ones, apart from the speed one, like I say, which is the main gripe really of the car, is when it's binging at you for the driving experience. Last few minutes of driving the Tiggo 7 now. Is it exhilarating to drive? No, but it's a family SUV, not many are. If you do want something that's more fun, the HS is actually more powerful. It's like nearly 300 brake horsepower, so not quite as efficient. Refinement's not bad, especially for this price point. It's not a luxury vehicle. Over some harsh bumps, it can be a little harsh, but nothing like crazy. It's a comfort drive. The steering's not going to be super sharp, sporty feeling at all, or engaging as such. Not unpleasant to drive, but there is definitely other cars that are going to give you more of a driver engagement and enjoyment. But at this price point, I don't think you can really complain. If you want more engagement, you could get like a petrol SUV at a similar-ish price for a Cougar, or you could get a Sportage. It'd be a bit more interesting to drive, but then this is saving you a lot of money on fuel. I'm just going to turn around so you'll be able to see the 540-degree cameras. I really like that this one's got a proper selector. I thought because it was a plug-in hybrid one, it was going to have a stalk thing like what we get on the OMODA E5, but fortunately it's not. So you should have seen the cameras there. They are pretty good. This allows you to see all around the vehicle. As you can see, the front angle, back angle. You can put it in 3D, which does distort things a little bit, but it's not too bad. That's quite good. So well done for that, Chery, because you've done a good job. Both sides is my favourite feature on the vehicle. So if you're going for a really tight space, you can see both sides of the car, so you can squeeze through, which is really great. It makes it so easy. You can see the wheels steering like that, so that's really helpful. This is the classic dials, which is great because the speed's in the middle, which I really like. And then you've got very Genesis-inspired dials, Hyundai and Genesis. I think they're definitely got a little bit of inspiration. Of course, this is nowhere near as premium as a Genesis car, but it is about half the price of the starting price of most of them, so it makes sense, and it's not done in a completely rip-off way. They've just taken a kit inspiration, which is fine. I love that when you put it in park, the handbrake just comes on. There's no button for it. It just makes it so easy, and something that even on cars double the price, it doesn't have that, so really well done. And then it just turns off when you get out. How is it inside the Tiggo 7? Well, surprisingly, it's very nice, and you might not expect it from a car this price, so it is really good. You've got loads of nice materials, this gloss carbon fibre, which looks really good, very similar to the OMODA 5 interior. It's pretty much identical. You've got the dual 12.3-inch digital display, so your driver display and then also your infotainment screen in the middle, facing towards the driver. It's very clearly inspired, I think, by the Nissan Ariya dash, especially with these shortcut touch-sensitive buttons down here. They would be better to be physical buttons, but it's not too bad. You do have some physical buttons. You've got your drive mode selector here. Got Eco
mode. Normal mode. Sport mode.
Down there, so that's good. I just normally leave it in
Eco mode.
There we go. I really like that this has got a proper selector. I've seen a lot of them have still got shush. This is much easier to use. So what are the two trims? Well, you've got the Aspire and you've got this Summit, which is a top spec. So Aspire is still very well spec'd. You still got these leatherette seats with the electric driver adjustment, but not electric passenger adjustment. You still get the 12-inch displays. You still have a rear camera, but not the 540-degree cameras. The Summit adds the 8-speaker Sony audio system, electric tailgate, panoramic opening glass roof, heated and ventilated front seats, electric passenger seat adjustment, and a few other features. So it's a lot of equipment. It's 3,000 more to go for the Summit over the Aspire, and I think that's actually really great value. So this is a seriously impressive sunroof. It's more impressive than the OMODA 5, which has just got the front sunroof. This has got the same sunroof as the JAECOO 7. Which goes back so far. It's excellent. So you can really get almost a convertible feel, get loads of fresh air in the cabin. And what's even better than that, generally, is just the fact that you've got this full panoramic glass roof that goes all the way to the rear of the vehicle. So it floods in light, which is great to see. You do also have a blind that you can stop anywhere along the length of the cabin. So if you've got pets or kids in the back that want shade, you can stop it and then let them have some shade. Or of course, should you wish, you can have it fully closed and have more of a cozy feel. But I personally love having that light in the cabin, making it bright and airy. You've also got a light headlining, adding to the airy feel of the cabins. These materials are really nice. You've got the white piping instead of like the copper piping that you get on the OMODAs, and the seats are okay. They actually fit me quite well. I like them. You don't have any underleg adjustable support, so you can't like tilt the seat up, which would have been nice to see, and you can't extend it out. Those are more premium features though that you get on higher end vehicles, so you wouldn't really expect it on this. Also, your passenger seat is not height adjustable. It can just go forward and back, and the back can tilt. You do have your memory settings for your seats as well. There we go. So I've set that as 1. So if I move back now, you've got 3 different settings. If I press 1, I might have to hold it. There we go. Hold 1. And it takes me back to where it was. So that's some high-end equipment on a cheaper vehicle. It's really good to see actually, because the MG HS, for example, has got electric seat but doesn't have the memory settings, so it kind of like defeats the point of it, but that's a lot better. Again, you've got all these Mercedes style switches and the Burmester style grille covers for the speakers. But the wireless charging pad on this Summit model works very well, nice and quick, and it doesn't slide around, so it's great. USB-A and a USB-C port back there. You've got wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto as standard. This little shutter goes across. It's not the best, this concertina thing. Everything else though feels really good quality and like it would last quite a long time. You've got these shortcuts down here, especially for your climate. That one turns climate on or off, and it also brings a screen up now, which is great. As you can see on the steering wheel, you've got the shiny buttons, but they're not like the Volkswagen ones that are just touch capacitive like that. You've actually got to press them, so I don't mind that. Also, what I like about the gloss black buttons is although they do pick up fingerprints, they are very easy to wipe and keep clean, which is always good. I like the steering wheel, as I said, in the driving segment as well. It obviously says Chery here instead of what you see OMODA or JAECOO on the other cars, and it's a nice thin, easy, ergonomic steering wheel in this synthetic leather, and it feels nice and quality. Also in the driving segment, I turned down volume of indicators. I did that with these buttons here. You can turn the indicator right down to virtually non-existent. Clever features continue with the very fancy vanity mirrors. How nice is that? They're the same on the OMODA 5 as well. Just like, so looks like you don't have that on a fancy car. Like you've literally got a ring light. Perfect. That's great. And then also, I've never ever seen this before, but I guess it's a good idea. Instead of a grab handle, this is a sunglasses case now, or a glasses case. So it's all like felted and stuff inside. So that's quite clever. Because obviously up here you've got all your roof controls. A lot of cars have lost out on a glasses holder, so why not put it there? Yeah, it's pretty good. It feels quality, it doesn't feel cheap as such. As this is the Summit model, you do have the electric tailgate, which is great to see. Nice feature, especially on a family vehicle. You've also got this load cover here. The boot space itself is 565 litres, which is very impressive. That's bigger than the 484 on the petrol version of the vehicle. It's bigger than the 540 litres on the Kia Sportage plug-in hybrid, the 507 litres on the MG HS plug-in hybrid, the 414 litres on the JAECOO 7 plug-in hybrid, and so many more. So it's pretty much best in class. Other cars like the Skoda Kodiaq plug-in hybrid offer a bigger boot. If you want to watch my video on that car, you can click up there. However, Chery have already got a solution for that because they've got the Tiggo 8 if you need more boot space. Underneath here, you'll find this polystyrene section, your charging cable and a tyre inflation kit. Basically, what it is it's a can of compressed foam and it goes straight onto the tyre. So it's very easy actually. And then under there, you've got your 12-volt battery and also part of the hybrid system under there too. There's a warning triangle there with your cable and also that tyre inflation kit too. A little 12-volt socket back there too, a light and a couple of hooks too. So very practical, nicely done. You do have this retractable load cover. They do mount them a little bit low, so it could be a bit higher up, but not so bad. And being the Summit model, you get the electric tailgate too, which is very quiet actually for a tailgate. Lovely. See there as well that the seats lay literally almost completely flat, which is something you don't see in many cars now. Look at that. So it's very like the JAECOO 7 in that way. Very practical. But what are the back seats like? Well, let's check that out now. Sitting in the back, I notice how bright and airy it is because the roof goes all the way back here, which is great. Really nice. It gives the whole family a nice light and airy cabin, which is great. This is my seating position. I'm about 5'8". I've got loads of knee room and these are nice and padded as well. And headroom's excellent too, thanks to that boxy shape. Also got a little armrest back here. Very good. 2 cup holders. Nice and comfortable. Again, the fabrics, materials are exactly the same whether you go for the base Aspire or this top spec Summit, so that's really nice to see as well. Isofix points are nicely hidden, but you can still feel them quite easy, so they look nice and clearly out the way, which is great. Also, you might notice something else is these little slits in the headrests allow you to, it's got a cushion that squishes. If you squish it like that, air goes out of it. It allows you to kind of lean your head a little bit, especially for kids if you've got a smaller head. So you can really proper squish them in and then they kind of stay there a little bit and you can lean on it as if you've got, you know, one of the neck pillows on. So that's really clever. Back here, you've got one normal USB and that's it, but you do have vents to feed through the climate to the back, which is great. You've got a pocket on the back of each seat as well, which is excellent. Floor is pretty much completely flat. Let's see how the middle seat is. Base is comfy. Back's a bit firm, expected, very similar to the JAECOO 7 back here. Yeah, it's not bad though, it's nice. Materials are a bit cheaper on the top of the doors, but you still have nice fabrics, still have the Mercedes style switches. Families would get along with this car very well. And if you need more space, the Tiggo 8 is available with 7 seats as well. There we go. Electronic child lock is also a great feature. So there you have it, the Chery Tiggo 7 Super Hybrid. What do I think? Well, it's excellent value for money, there's no denying that. This coming at $33,495 with the optional metallic paintwork, and the top spec model is really good. It's nice and smooth to drive, it's not too unrefined. Of course, more premium end vehicles do feel a little bit more refined inside, but in terms of the tech and comfort that this car offers, it's very, very good. It doesn't feel like a cheap car as such, it feels very nice. Another thing I really like about it, it's not an alien vehicle. You don't get in and like, what do I do? What do I press? I know I have driven the OMODA and JAECOO vehicles, so it feels familiar to me anyway, but I think someone brand new to the brand shouldn't feel too far confused versus other vehicles like Nissan, Ford, Volkswagen, etc. There's a lot of familiar feeling controls and user-friendly layouts on the vehicle, which is great to see. You've got those shortcuts too, which is nice, and class-leading rear space as well. All for a great affordable price. There's little compromise with the vehicle. A huge thanks again to Pye Motors Chery, Barrow and Furness for making this video possible, and to Mike as well. All their links are in the description down below. So if you do want to take the Tiggo 7 or in fact the Tiggo 8 for a test drive, you can give them a call or check out their website and get it arranged, because it might surprise you as well. No, it might not be the sportiest or the most petrol head family vehicle out there, but it's one of the cheapest. So value for money is what this excels at. Thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.